Sports! Yeah, it's that time of year again. It's Christian Football Month. Let's do this! That's right, it's the third annual Say Goodnight Kevin Football Month. Each year, around this time, I review a football movie or, do other football-related content since, it's the time for the bowl games, which is usually the only time of year I pay attention to football. That's right, I'm a sellout, I'm not a true American, I'm sorry. I kind of go back and forth on the whole football thing. I feel like people tell me that I have to like it, and whenever people tell me that I have to like something, well, I typically just don't like it then. On the other hand, I get the merits of being a sports player. I think it teaches a lot about self-discipline, the importance of competing, and that competition can push you to be better at something than you ever would have been in any other situation. So good at something that people are willing to pay to watch you do that thing. In that sense, I support it. On the other sense, screw you if you tell me that I have to like football, because I don't have to like it. What am I talking about? Football? Yeah. As somebody who barely cares about football, I dedicate a whole month to it every year for the last 3 years. It's true, I don't like being told what to believe, and nobody likes to tell me what to think and how to believe and what to like more than Christians. Football, Christians, and patriotism, they all go together in my mind. Sorry, I didn't mean to open up and be so honest there. Let me get back in character. Football month! Nothing is more important to America and Christianity than football. None of the football movies I've reviewed have been bad. What have we seen? Woodlawn, Greater, Facing the Giants. They're nothing to write home about, but they're certainly, thanks to my show Bargain Bed, I know that they're not the worst Christian movies to have ever been made. But is that good enough? As a kid who grew up in the South, I know how fundamentally important football is. It's the foundation of our faith, and it's what our forefathers would have wanted. And I think this year, more than any other year in the past, we need a good, solid Christian football movie to get us back to who we are as a country. So let's kick off, sports analogy, movie night with this one. That guy's kneeling means something a little different this year, but at the time in 2015 this movie was made, kneeling at a football game meant you were praying to God that he would give you a win. I'm really looking forward to seeing where this goes. This could be the one that we've all been looking for. There's only one way to find out, and that's to jump right into it. So why don't you come along and join me? Here's my movie night review of Catching Faith. I don't know what it is, but I kind of like this song. It reminds me of The Shins. If anybody remembers The Shins. All right, so to kick off the movie, we're driving out into the middle of nowhere. Oh, good, look, an American flag. Now that is a great start. Only thing that could make this better is if they showed a cross or a steeple or a billboard that's from God that says like, hey, why don't you meet at my house before the game on Sunday? Well, hello. All right, so this is our main character, Alexa, and she's heading into this restaurant to meet her husband and I guess his clients or something, or his work partners or buddies. I'm not sure, it's not explained, and it really doesn't matter, so good job.
This is my wife, Alexa.
Hi.
I was just telling John how great he's done for the company. We appreciate it.
Oh no, the company? I'm getting unwanted presents flashbacks.
We're going to take this company to a new level. Our goal is to be #1 in the industry.
What do you do? Well, John and I have twins.
I'm excited because the movie also doesn't waste much time in getting into football.
My son is the star of the football team.
As we see from this flashback of a kid playing football. Great!
My daughter is valedictorian.
That's correct. We have a winner.
But then one lady says the rudest thing you could ever say to a person.
You're a stay-at-home mom. Stay-at-home mom.
Stay-at-home mom.
I always wanted to do that. Work just got in the way. I guess you can't do both.
How dare she? Hey lady, how dare you make an obvious statement that you can't be at work and not be at work at the exact same time? You have insulted the main character of this movie. I will not forgive you for that. This is something I see stay-at-home moms complain on Facebook about all the time. I recognize that it's probably something that to you guys feels, like you don't get enough respect because, of course, staying at home and taking care of the kids, it's a lot of work. All this lady is saying is she always wished she could have done it. I don't know. Get over yourselves already. Put on your fake suburban smile. I could not live that life. Then we cut to the house where we get to meet the rest of the family.
Dear Lord, bless our day today. Be with Bo for his game, and be with Raven for her AP Latin class.
Ooh, Good. Prayer. Then we get a nice inside look at the tough decisions that a stay-at-home mom really has to make.
This pillow or this one?
See, now you understand how offensive this lady's remarks really were. Fortunately, at least her husband appreciates her and her hard efforts, and as a token of his appreciation, he gives her a nice gift.
I saw you eye this at the store.
Oh,
Thank
man,
you.
just add it to the pile of the difficult things that happened to her. It's obvious that that is not the necklace that she wanted. Her husband gave her the wrong necklace. I'm already holding back the tears. I'm about to cry a river from the difficult life that she lives. So, because she got the wrong necklace, she goes and exchanges it for one that she liked.
Yes, can I exchange this? For this one.
Which is something that we all do, right? I get gifts, and then I'm like, oh, thanks, do you have the receipt? Since that's what her husband thought he was giving her in the first place.
I saw you eye this at the store.
But this movie seems to make it out like it's some really big deal, as we'll see in the scenes to come. But first, it's football time. But you know, as fun as football is, I'd much rather watch somebody open up their mail.
This came in for you today.
Great, thanks. Is this where you open up your mail?
Mom, I got early acceptance.
I understand it's from a college, she's excited about it, but then look at her reaction. Wow, come on, people. She just got accepted to a college, and all you people could do is focus on her brother, cheering for him at his football game and not focusing on her, who just opened a letter where she probably shouldn't be opening up a letter?
You worked so hard to get to this point, but now you have to maintain your GPA to stay valedictorian.
Wow, I kind of wish you guys would go back to just not paying attention to me. But it seems the whole family has a tendency to do things in the bleachers that could probably be better done at the kitchen table.
Both your kids are about to go off to college.
Yeah, I'm just gonna awkwardly bend over right now in the middle of this football game and tell you how important I think your kids are. You're welcome. But this father-daughter bonding time is interrupted by one of Alexa's besties.
Come here! Jesse! How are you?
They go off to the sidelines to gossip.
Okay, so did you see Margot? No. Yeah. She gained like 10 pounds since Paul left her.
Who cares? But then the conversation awkwardly shifts to her necklace.
Your necklace is gorgeous. Don't tell John, I changed the one he gave me for this one.
To be honest, I don't like this vest. I don't know what's going on. Looks like you borrowed it from your mother.
Really?
Just
All right, so this is gonna be sexist, but it's true. I think this movie was written by a woman. I'm not saying that women can't write. What I am saying is everything that's happening so far is a bunch of stuff that probably would be important to a stay-at-home mom, but not necessarily to someone who's, I don't know, maybe looking to watch a football movie. Okay, let's not point the camera at any players in this football movie. Yeah, perfect. Why is she always making this face like she's sad? Like she's just so distraught. Her life seems pretty darn good, if you ask me. Meanwhile, our star football player son, Bo, goes to a game after party.
Ladies and gentlemen, the party has arrived.
And man, everybody loves him.
You were awesome. You did amazing at the game.
No one man should have all that power.
Then we cut back to Alexa and her horrible life. But I spoke way too soon. Boy, do I feel bad. Just at that moment, something actually bad happens to her.
What?
No! Turns out her dad has gone to the hospital. I'm telling you this now because the scenes between now and us finding out are extremely drawn out. Meanwhile, at Bo's party, the fuzz shows up. Whoa! You got 5 people having a cookout in the backyard? You better call the cops. Bo tries to run, but he gets caught. And then he's sad. This is followed up by another sad realization. That's right, the dad died. Then during the funeral after party, is that what it's called? We hear the grandmother saying some pretty mean things.
Really wish your mother would have had you work more in the kitchen.
Don't take it personally. She's going through a rough time.
Now, I'm not sure who this lady is, but I guess she's the only nice lady in the whole movie. So she goes around being nice, trying to show compassion to all the family members.
Here, why don't you let me do this?
I got it.
But this makes her bestie a little jealousy.
What did you say to my friend?
Wow, what a bee. There's so many bitchy women in this movie.
Don't hide your grief.
You should if it makes your face fall off.
So, what I'm learning so far is that there are people and bad things happen to them. So, Interesting movie. So the three ladies are here staring at each other for a really long time. Beauty and the Beast. Meanwhile, the son is down by the lake talking to this girl.
I should have got arrested too.
Why didn't you?
Well, they don't put their star player in jail.
You know, they must
You're
have
lucky.
put the ambient microphone inside of a seashell because I can hear the ocean. All right, to deal with the grief, Alex goes to this Bible study type thing. None of this is ever explained why she's here. She's there. At first, I actually thought she was in a dream. It's actually just a pitch for the workbook that they're trying to sell for this movie. And it's with Mrs. Nice from The Funeral. This is kind of like in War Room whenever she would go meet with the lady. It's a device used to blatantly spell out all the things that our main character is learning as she goes through these tough trials in her life.
God's plans for us don't always look like we think they should. Who would you say that you neglect the most? I would be willing to bet it's probably you.
I'm willing to bet it's not yourself. I get the feeling that despite how much this woman likes to pretend that she's the most selfless person in the world, most of her time is spent pitying herself for how selfless she is and how little everybody notices.
So, if you'll turn to page 9, our first activity is called Who Am I?
What are we watching?
Using colors, images, and words, express how you're feeling today.
And there, they color. Okay, I hate to break it to you all, but I'm gonna go ahead and skip over this literal 2 minutes of coloring and expressing their feelings about their first world problems.
My family's well off, and I have everything I need and nothing I want.
If you want to see it, you can go watch the movie. Also, the daughter has some awful news.
Well, as of today, you're number 2.
What?
You're number 2 out of 220 kids.
Don't listen to these people, Ricky. If you ain't first, you're last.
Then we find out that something great is about to happen for the son.
Coach wants to get some college scouts out to one of our games. But we gotta play good out there. Don't mess this up for me.
Meanwhile, back in Raven's class.
Would you make copies of the study guide for me?
Oh no, is she gonna cheat? No, I had such high hopes for her. I really cared about this character. Though, honestly, like, why would a teacher do this? I'm not saying that it's the teacher's fault necessarily, but it's kind of his fault, isn't it? I'm watching you. Well, then we cut over to the house where Alexa's mom has moved in after her husband had passed away.
Maybe a quarter of an inch to the right.
And things aren't going well.
I think this household could use some organizing.
Excuse me.
So, is this whole movie just gonna be about how women don't know how to get along with each other? If I wanted to watch that, I would go back to work. But on top of that, there's another issue that's trying to ruin Alexa's life.
We gotta talk about Bo's drinking. The other night when we picked him up, he'd been drinking.
I can't deal with anything else right now.
Okay, I think we need to cut back to the Bible study thing. Football, everybody! But I guess if we're not gonna give football, at least we're getting workbook coloring exercises.
The center circle is for your closest and safest relationships.
I think I'm valuing my friends' opinions more than my family.
I so get you. I'm realizing that I value what other moms think of me more than what my family thinks.
Same here.
Yeah.
I'm realizing that my friends' feelings are more important to me than my own husband. Look, I'm not saying women and even men don't go through struggles like this. I don't want to undermine your lived experiences. I'm here for you, I'm listening, I'm here to listen, but it's all weird to me. I don't think about this sort of thing, and it's fine. Like this sort of women's conference, Shonda Pierce, little silver boxes type thing is great. Do it, live it, be it. But like, why are you marketing the movie to men? This cover is definitely saying, hey guys, is your wife making you watch a Christian movie for the whole family? Well then maybe you could compromise and watch this one, because it's about football. On top of coloring, we're also introduced to a fun little card game.
This is a game that goes along with our study.
That these women force Alexa to take home to her family, despite the fact that she has explicitly stated that she doesn't want to.
Alexa, would you like to take it home first?
No,
It's really something for everyone.
Oh man, I hate your guts. Back home, Alexa tries to go ahead and have a conversation with her son.
Can you pause that?
Yeah, what's up?
Well, they were going in for the kick, but they made a touchdown.
Oh, yeah, no. Okay, so this is called the 2-point conversion.
I know enough about football to know that after watching like 5 seconds, I know that in the particular situation that your team is in, they would kick the ball, but instead they ran the ball, but I don't know enough about it to know that it's called a 2-point conversion.
You are so smart. Grandpa gave you this?
Everything I know, I learned from that guy.
Since he's dead now, I'd probably kill myself if I couldn't play football. Anyway, good to see you, Mom. So she doesn't have the guts to tell him that he can't drink anymore. Honey, if we don't talk to our son about drinking, how can I justify calling myself a spiritual gangster?
No one man should have all that.
Never gonna be a good time.
Like, isn't this just a conversation that the dad should have with his son back whenever he smelt the beer on him? Like, what kind of pansy is this guy who's like, I can't have this simple conversation with my son without my wife doing it for me? So now the family sits down and they're gonna play that game that she got at a weird Bible study that I'm sure you can buy on their website as well. Yeah, you would think in this movie, if they were gonna play a game, it would be football, but no, let's play this stupid game instead.
I'll start. What is the hardest thing that has happened in your life?
Well, probably when my husband died a few days ago. That would be something that hits close to home right now.
Oh, about the game.
Whoever has the card has a flag.
Honey, I'm trying to be gangster here. Okay, you're not making it easy. Well, before the game even gets going, everybody kind of gets up and leaves the table. It all fizzles out. Oh, dear me. Why do bad things always happen to me? Maybe I could cry on my wrist full of pearls. So then they're about to pray, but suddenly they have to run into the other room because they hear Grandma yelling, "Give it to me! Give it to me!
Give it to me! Give it to me! Give it to me!"
That is never something that you want to hear.
Come on, Grandma. We're football players. We gotta practice sometime.
All right, so that scene fizzles out, and then we go upstairs where the daughter is studying. So my wife tells me, I didn't notice this, but this girl, if she was really actually that studious, she would have her hair pulled back into a bun or a ponytail or something. And that's why Carmen is the one who runs my Patreon.
Do you know that your name means dark-haired wise one?
Wow, Mom, that's so Raven.
I am interested.
Really? Because you didn't even seem to notice me at Grandpa's funeral.
What's wrong with this girl? You didn't notice me during Grandpa's funeral. What? This is the most selfish family I've ever seen. You can have all the attention at your own funeral. All right, enough of that. What about her coloring club? Which is now devolved into just a stitch and bitch fest? Guys, no, it's okay. I'm allowed to swear now. Julian Smith did the research. It's okay.
My in-laws have been in my house for a week. I'm exhausted. I can't handle my in-laws at Sunday dinner.
Yesterday, I yelled at my husband for leaving his dishes in the sink.
My husband leaves his socks everywhere.
Now it's that 70s show, apparently.
The point is, I need to pray for patience.
Oh, was that your point? I thought you were just trying to complain about your husband.
When you pray for patience, God gives you more opportunity to practice.
That means more dishes.
And socks. Peace.
I meant peace.
But when it's Alexa's turn to share her thoughts about God, the stress of her extremely difficult life finally becomes too hard to handle.
I highlighted Almighty, Majesty, and Father.
I just feel like you have God in such a small box.
You're making me feel like my answers aren't good enough.
Sorry, I'm not as perfect as—
Oh, snap!
There is no right answer. It's a personal thing.
Exactly. Everything's fine. It's fine.
Oh, okay, Alexa. We were all pretending to get along just fine. Everything's fine. But topless Mrs. Nice over here takes this outburst super personally. So she struggles for a while about telling Bo, which is it's just a joy to watch. This is just filmmaking at its finest, especially when it comes to sports movies.
I've been thinking. I agree with you.
I've never felt so spiritually gangster in my life.
Do you remember when we picked you up at the party?
The night we caught you drinking. Your mom and I believe you have to honor that code of conduct. Do you know what integrity is?
It's doing the right thing.
It's doing the right thing when nobody's watching you.
God is always watching.
Okay, Grandma, that's not the point. Guys, I hate to tell you this, but the big connection to football in this football movie is that the guy who we're told plays football has to stop playing football. What a home run. This song again, I kind of liked it the first time they played it. It felt, kind of creative and artistic, but now it's the same song? Yeah, but movie, what's happening over at the beauty salon?
My gray is showing more and more.
We just colored it. It's dry and brittle, and I'm afraid it's gonna fall out.
Who cares?
Bo Taylor turned himself in for drinking at a party. Alexa is getting so self-righteous. I mean, everybody knows the teenagers drink.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine having to watch this movie. Yeah, I know I'm watching the movie, but also I get to express my emotions and say how I'm feeling as I watch it. I can't imagine being stuck like at a friend's house or in a youth group or at a church or something and having to watch this movie. I would leave. I would beg to get excommunicated from a church that played me this movie. Wow, felt good to get that out.
Without Bo, we can't win the championship this year. I thought that she was my friend. Obviously, she is not.
That's not funny! Well, back at the house. Hey, sound guy, you left the birds running all the way into the house scene.
Oh, honey, this must be so hard for you. If you would have parented them like I told you when they were 3 years old, you wouldn't be experiencing these behavioral problems at 17.
Wow, what a bitch!
What are you doing to my kitchen?
Nothing's in the right place, and it's a mess. It's not an excuse to treat you poorly. But you did just ruin his sports career.
Is she gonna murder her mother by the end of this? Later that night, Alexa can't sleep, so she sulks about how horrible her life is.
I'm glad my father's not here to see this. Would have broken his heart.
Your father
Is dead. Stop bringing him up.
I feel like my heart is gonna break.
There's only one thing left for her to do. Turn to her only source of strength and refuge, the coloring book! And she removes Jizzy from her inner circle. Bo is having a hard time with this as well, but then he's reminded of what really matters. The American flag. So he goes and talks to his sister about how she shouldn't cheat on her test.
What are you doing cheating, Raven?
I haven't read it.
Then why do you still have it?
You don't understand the pressure I'm under.
But it's good to be under pressure.
Don't you remember what Queen and David Bowie said?
I haven't done anything wrong.
You should keep it that way.
Then we go to this church coffee shop. While being serenaded by this amazing song, she meets with Mrs. Nice, who's actually turned into Mrs. Pouty Face. And Alexa is having to try so hard to apologize to her and somehow make up for how much she's wronged her. But Mrs. Nice is not giving up without a fight. She is definitely playing the sad little puppy dog card.
I am really sorry. I just wanted to create a safe space for women to share.
A safe space? Really?
It's just my life is falling apart.
Millions of people could be affected.
My life is falling apart. My life is falling apart. My life is falling apart.
I'd like to talk to you about the end of our country and the end of the world.
My life is falling apart.
Really admired what you did with Bo. That was a very brave thing to do.
That's a bit of an overreach with the word brave, right?
Are we okay?
Yes, of course.
But still, nobody wants to sit with her at the football game. Oh right, it's a football movie, I totally forgot. But without Bo, the team isn't playing very well at all. So now, we get that friendly advice from the coach that we've all been wanting that reminds us why this movie is called Catching Faith.
Son, the quarterback sees the whole field. That's his job. Your job's just to run the play. You understand what I'm trying to tell you?
Do footballs?
I'm talking about God, son. He got caught, Bo. And there are consequences.
There are consequences to getting caught.
Have a little faith in him. He's been doing this a long time.
This is the most melodramatic movie I've seen since Do You Believe? No, what was that movie? I'm Not Ashamed. They're all the same. So with all this honesty going around, Alexa feels convicted about the necklace that she returned. What? Like, I'm trying to think of how this scenario would go in my own life. If it was my family, I would just tell them, this is actually not the one that I wanted. If the biggest sin in your life is that you exchanged a gift, that's not, you're doing all right, I think.
John?
Yeah.
Never mind.
So then, of course, since it's a sports movie, we get a montage. I can't tell if I think this is the same song as before that they keep on using over and over. I'm not sure. All right, let's go ahead and skip on through this. Stop it! This is so freaking lame. Whew. Sorry, I was in a football mood. I wasn't prepared for a coloring montage. Wow, look at all that awesome football happening out there. If only we had another camera to point at it. So after a really long full song montage where literally nothing happens, we get the big win it for the Gipper speech from the coach.
Last night I wrote out this big speech about what I was gonna say to you boys. And I thought, you know what, they understand.
Oh man, this is so cringy because we haven't seen anything from this team.
I'm proud of each and every one of you. Not for what you've achieved on the field, but what you've achieved off the field. You've become a family, become a team. When we first started this, we were just individuals.
All right, guys, we've all gotten to know each other. We all love each other. This has been an amazing season. I don't even recognize this team because you guys have grown and improved so much, and I'm so proud of you. We haven't seen any of that. This belongs in a totally different movie. You can't just tell us here at the end of the movie, hey guys, by the way, this football team has grown a good bit, so cheer. Everybody cheer.
You've learned to work with each other. When your brother gets down, you've picked him up.
It was an amazing season. It will probably make a really awesome movie. Or maybe even a movie about one of your moms. That would be really cool.
So you with me?
Go. Also, we get some really great news that we've all been cheering for.
There's something I gotta tell you, son.
Turns out there's a technicality in the rules.
District doesn't consider a championship game part of the regular season. I guess you're gonna need that.
Even though he hasn't practiced with the team in months, he gets to go out there and play. Yay!
All right. Now go get dressed because you look silly playing in your underwear.
And before you go out there, be sure to remind the audience this is a Christian movie. Good, thank you. Oh, and then also the necklace thing comes full circle. Wow.
What's she talking about?
She exchanged your necklace for something better.
Jesse, no she didn't, okay? It's right here.
You know, I can't help but think of all the amazing football that's happening right now while we sit here watching these two argue about this stupid and trivial thing. Okay, let's go wrap up Raven's storyline.
I didn't cheat because of your example.
Wow, great work not doing the wrong thing. I know that must have been real hard for you. Somebody get this girl a sticker. She didn't cheat on her test. And guess what? Another thing comes full circle. That's right, they win it with the 2-point conversion. Yes! Yes! Yeah, they won. That team, whatever their name is, won the game that it was been a great season that we believed in, and they won that game so good. All right, but that's not the end of the movie, no. As most movies would end right there, but this movie isn't about the football that it advertises on both sides of the cover of the movie. No. I paid a lot for this DVD, so I want to show it as much as I can. She goes back to get the necklace that she didn't even like. Great, good job. Also, she's wearing the jacket that lady made fun of because she's gonna be honest and truthful because now she's trusting in God and probably her spiritual gangster husband. But what about her coloring book club? Is probably what you're asking. Well, let's go check on them. Oh, look, it's gotten bigger.
This has been an incredible study, but incredibly rewarding.
I used to love to control the world around me and the people in it.
Oh boy, I wish there was more fake giggling in this movie.
There was always something else that...
So she realizes that her problem was that she just worked too hard. And she just expected everyone around her to be as perfect as her. But now she's realized that, you know what, not everyone can be as awesome and perfect as she is. And, you know, she has to be okay with that.
Trusting in God. And just breathing.
For a movie that's supposed to be about being truthful and genuine, she sure wore those fake eyelashes through the entire movie.
Dear God, this has been a tough year on us. Thank you for working all things together for our good.
Yeah, I think if that was your toughest year, then you guys have had a pretty good life. I don't know, it's just silly. Well, there you have it, everyone. Catching faith. Well, did you catch faith? I certainly hope so. Hope it was super contagious and that you're trying to get that checked out. You know, right now, go to your local church and get tested for faith. Oh man, gotta go to church this week because I'm testing my faith. the church clinic. So what did I think of it? Well, I think that was a big, boring movie about an upper-class woman with a bunch of first-world problems. That's what I think of it. Personally, I really could relate to it at all. It's annoying to see these fake, dramatic moments about nothing. To me, it was nothing. I didn't relate at all. I'm not saying that the main message isn't legitimate. Like, you shouldn't lie. Don't lie, everybody. Honesty is the best policy. And that's why I'm being honest here about what I thought about the movie. I thought the cinematography was fine and the editing was good, but it didn't quite match the style or the tone of the movie. And maybe that's the biggest issue. Even the marketing for the movie doesn't make a lot of sense when you consider what the movie was about. Clearly, the person directing the movie and editing the movie was inspired by movies like Friday Night Lights or Remember the Titans or Any Given Sunday or Rudy or any number of those types of movies, and the editing is made to have that same type of feel. But the subject matter was something like from The Wonder Years or McGee and Me or Desperate Housewives. So the stakes didn't feel that high. Maybe it would have worked as a TV episode, but as a full production movie with the music and the epic ending and the speeches and stuff, it made it seem so much more important than it was. Because of that, it's like, well, movie, what do you think, who do you think you are? And I get that way sometimes when I watch sports movies. It's like, well, it's just a game, all right? But it's important, and like I said, I go back and forth on that. But still, I'm used to sports movies having this sense of like accomplishment because like that was the greatest game of our lives. And I can look back at things that YouTube videos where people like them and I'm like, man, that was a really good time. What an accomplishment. People could write that off and say, yeah, but it's just a dumb video and some magnetic meteor could fly past the earth and erase everything that you've ever worked on. And I think about that every single day and it scares the heck out of me. I hope that makes a lot of sense to you. It makes a lot of sense to me, and that's all I've really got to say about this movie, so I'll talk to you all later. The people who pledge to the Patreon this month, $10 or more, are getting one of these, because this is the month where people always think about football. Some of the people who already do that are listed right here on the screen. Those people include, but are not limited to, Brendan Neely, John Duffy at youtube.com/nextlevelstuff, the short film Mattel's Blog, which just came out. This is Pascal Schmidlin's short film, and it made me laugh. So go check it out. It's linked below. It's less than 5 minutes, so it's quirky, it's unique, and it's a little dark. I'm guessing he's gonna do more of these, but I'm not sure. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's all we get. Go watch it, and if you love it, then tell him you want more, because I'd like to see more. So if we dogpile him, maybe we could get that happening. The Religious Nut and Hellbound Sinner podcast, Amanda Stewart and Tyler Minix. Thank you so much, guys, for watching the show. Thank you to everybody who pledges, keeping the show going. It means so much. It's amazing. It's been an amazing year, and we got more gifts coming out. Okay, talk to y'all later. Happy football. Good night.
I'm talking about God, son.
Sorry, I don't have popcorn today. I'm sorry, I'm a stay-at-home dad. I have a dog.